What's up, Epic Flexers or Chad D lads? We're going into Epic Flex video number 6, and yes, that was a pretty rough intro. But anyway, joining me today we have 2Spooky and Nux Taku. What's up, boys?
Hello, everybody. Nux Taku here.
That was the most normal intro I've ever seen you do in your life.
Too spooky.
Nice. No, it's more like, how's it going, everybody? 2Spooky here.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And today,
I watch all of his videos on double speed. So that's for me.
To be fair, I do too. I watch everyone on 1.75, no matter who it is.
You can't watch me on 1.75. I talk way too fast. I watch everyone like 1.5 plus. I try to watch myself. I'm like, I can't even understand what I'm saying. And like, you would think like I would be able to understand myself, and other people wouldn't be able to understand me. I can't even understand myself.
I've trained my brain to hear words at double the speed.
Thank you, G Dog, for subscribing 10 months. Unreal.
Damn.
Yeah. And I just want to say that out of these flexers here, this is probably my favorite bracket out of all 6, just looking at it.
Really?
Yeah, this is unreal. Bro, we got Kakashi, Bartolomeo, Kurasuchi, Avdol, Ursa, and I have seen Ursa that scene because Axel made me watch it. We got Ikta Sorlork, which is from the Alderman of the Sky, right? And then Guts and Demon Slayer. This is a hype bracket, man.
Yo, to be fair, you have said that many times already because every bracket's a hype bracket. Let's do this, boys!
Well, all brackets are better than non-brackets, but compared to the last video, this one's way better, in my opinion. But anyway.
Last video, we had Kaiba, Armstrong, Ryder, the Generation of Miracle.
All right, maybe I take it back.
All right. Well,
but last week I was hyped for this week. That's all I remembered. All right, Kakashi versus Bartolomeo in the first round. What do you guys think?
All right, so immediately, Bartolomeo, my favorite Yonko in One Piece, when he pissed on his opponent, well, not literally, figuratively, in the arena in middle of a tournament, that is a massive flex. But
didn't he defeat an opponent while pissing because the guy like broke his hand on his invisible?
He was standing at the edge of this massive arena. He was just pissing off the stands while everyone is like jeering at him, and someone attacks him mid-piss, and he defeats his adversary.
That's amazing. And then we have Kakashi.
Mid-piss.
Mid-piss. I think I'm gonna have to vote for Bartolomeo, but let's hear Kakashi's first.
All right, Kakashi is an epic flexer. This guy flexes on everyone throughout the entirety of the series. From using the 1,000 Years of Death Jutsu on Naruto in the beginning, to using the 1,000 Death Years Jutsu on Naruto in the beginning of Shippuden. This guy flexes a lot. He even flexes on the actual continuity of the plot when he gets like ridiculously stronger in the war arc.
Fact.
So I remember in one of your earlier videos, you had Kakashi as well when he was like reading, doing the whole bell like exam thing with Team 7, and now it's kind of like a rematch, right? The one you were talking about in your video, where he has to face off against them again. This time, he couldn't flex as hard in the sense that he could read while fighting it because he's not fighting kids anymore. But I mean, he goes freaking hard against two, like...
He annihilates them.
Yeah.
This is after 3 years of them training with Sanin, and they're like super pumped that they're going to take down old man Kakashi, and then like they get annihilated by like water dragon jutsus.
Well, I just don't know, back to back, he was using completely different, like, chakra styles.
Insane jutsus, and he annihilated them. And he caught them in the same traps that he used on them the first time. So,
freaking rope.
In my first flex video, I was talking about Kakashi from OG Naruto. This flex video, I'm talking about Kakashi from Shippuden.
You know I'm still voting for Bartolomeo.
Yeah, I'm with you, Briggs.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go for Bartolome also because as I've said, he is my favorite Yonko in One Piece. I like him more as a Yonko than Kakashi as a Hokage.
We'll save the arguments for later then. I'm sure we'll need to bring them up.
Next
Sounds
flex!
Good. Kurasuchi versus Avdol. And I wish you used a different Avdol flex, to be honest, but this one was still good. But the Kurasuchi one, you're talking about his perfection speech and all that, right?
I am. And it's even better than I thought, because right after actually making that video, I was like, damn, that fight's epic, so I reread it, which is opposite order, but he actually does something even more badass than I mentioned, because the way that works is since it speeds up his mind so much, his mind is moving much faster than his body can move. So for him, everything that takes place is taking place 100 years slower. So if he wants to pick up his arm, he has to send messages from his brain to his arm for 100 years straight.
Oh my
his own time.
So he was dying in that process.
So he was like, he was getting stabbed by Kurotsuchi, and he's picking up his arm. That means for 100 years, he was sending commands from his brain to slowly, painstakingly pick his hand up and slowly die.
And that's not even mentioning all the other times either. When like any enemy he fights, he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, my Bankai upgraded it just to fight you." Ha.
Huh.
Yeah,
Sorry.
right. So yeah, he has some nice flexes, and Avdol has some good flexes as well. I was talking about the one where he was up against Porunarefu, and he just like chucks a knife to him, and he's like, "Here, man, kill yourself because I feel so bad that my fire is gonna kill you and it'll hurt so much. This will be way easier." if you
That's
just-
that's like bringing a shovel to a fight level there. To be
Yeah,
honest.
almost.
It's like, okay, I took you out.
Avdol, why do you carry a knife? Oh, it's because I feel bad for my opponents. I let them kill themselves.
No, but what I was thinking about when you first messaged me that you were gonna include Avdol is when he pretended to be dead and went to the extent of like dressing up as his father, just to like make
I don't know if
Polnareff
I would consider that
apologize and like all depressed.
I am glad you mentioned that though, because my favorite scene with Avdol in the entire JoJo's is in that mini arc. It's when the opponent that they're looking for is like breathing through a reed out of the ground.
Oh,
And finds it, and they're like, "All right, we should dig him up." And he's like, "No, no!" And they first like throw a few ants in, and you hear like coughing down there, and you breathing them in, and some mud and a spider. And then Polnareff's like, "All right, enough of this. I'm gonna like pull him out of the ground." And Avdol's like, "No, as brothers, we must act like brothers." And then they just both piss in the hole, and he's breathing it in. And then he eventually pops out of the ground, and they annihilate him.
God damn.
Who do you guys want to vote for
That
here?
wasn't a flex though. That was just pure satisfaction.
That was just an amazing scene. The scene that we're actually, I guess, that was in Nux's video is he's about to defeat his opponent, and rather than finishing him off, he throws him a knife, right?
Yeah.
Because all of my attacks would only hurt you more.
He's a compassionate man.
Yes, clearly.
So Avdol's a great character, and I love that scene where he pisses into the reed and the guy's just like choking on his piss. I think that is mind-blowing, and it would be hilarious for him to win just so he could go up against Bartolomeo next round.
Everything I hear about JoJo sounds freaking wild.
This is Gintama level, pissing in the bed.
Right? Man, that was
I'm
amazing.
sorry.
Oh man, I
God.
think piss has been bad.
Sorry about that. I mean, my bias definitely wants me to vote for Kurotsuchi, just because that flex in particular he's literally flexing on the man for hundreds of years in his time, versus just, hey, kill yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still like a huge flex. It is shovel level, but
And
it's not
his
quite-
perfection speech is so great too.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Kurotsuchi on this one. As much as I love JoJo's.
My bias was not underwhelmed this time.
So it
Thank
looks
you.
like Kurotsuchi's advancing, but I'm voting for Avdol just to give him a vote.
Nice. He
Hell yeah.
deserves a vote.
He does.
Next flex!
Ursa versus Ixta Sorlork. So Ursa, you're talking about the 100 monsters, right?
That was the main scene I was talking about, and that's especially because right after that 100 monster scene, it builds up the Kana flex right after that.
Yeah. It's actually funny though, because I stopped watching Fairy Tail, but I watched like so many clips of the Grand Magic Games, the specific 100 monsters, and like all the stuff you mentioned in your video just so recently, and it's actually like, it's crazy epic.
Yeah, the Grand Magic Games is legit phenomenal, and the people that hate on it are just haters, dab. Anyway,
Ooh,
so I'm
wow.
gonna have to, clue 2Spooky in a little on the Ixta speech, since
Appreciate
it's been a week since you've seen my video, I believe.
It has.
Ixta Sorlork is a man that I respect so very much because he believes that all progress in the world comes from laziness.
Right.
This is something
And
I
I
can get
remember that
behind.
now.
In order to progress, you have to be lazy to come up with some invention to do it for you in a better way.
I did
And-
resonate with that a lot. Now that it's coming back to me, I remember everything you said.
And this guy, he flexes on like enemy generals by like lazily overpowering them in like ways that's so out of the box they wouldn't even think of. So I do respect the Ixta flex so much, but it is nothing compared to the heart and soul of Fairy Tail in the Grand Magic Games. Ursa going up against 100 monsters when they were like, all right, Ursa, how many monsters do you want to fight? Like 3? And Ursa's like, I'll fight all 100. That is such an amazing moment because the entire round of the tournament was completely upheaved. It's
Uh,
like they had
you-
100 monsters, figuring like, you know, if they each fight like I don't know, 5 monsters, they'll still have plenty left. But after Ursa, and it's a long fight because it's a massive dungeon, she takes out every single monster. They have to come up impromptu with a completely new round for the tournament, where they each
she
have to,
ruined
like,
the tournament. She ruined the
goddamn
round.
ruined the tournament following the rules. And then they have to like shoot magic into like this lacrima thingy that absorbs it and counts exactly how much magic power you have. And it's like most of them get like between 100 and 200 or whatever. And then the God Slayer from Sabretooth gets like 3,800. And then one of the top 10 wizards ranked by the actual council got like 8,600, and he's like, you know, chuckling or whatever. And then Kana comes and gets 9,999, breaking the thing, because the first guild master of Fairy Tail, who by the way is dead but can like sort of come back to life occasionally, her spirit and guide Fairy Tail, and like you can only use fairy glitter at super duper important times. She comes back to tell the guild, I allow you and you know, advise you to use fairy glitter just to flex on the magic world.
Yes, so
Time
deep,
of need,
so
my
important, must be used in that moment.
So I don't know. I definitely have to give it to Fairy Tail on this one.
Yeah,
I'm
but
voting
you know what
for Ursa
Ikta
for
would do?
different
He would only fight 51 monsters because there's no point in fighting all 100. But then he would make the 51 monsters fight each other, so that he doesn't have to fight any of them.
Yeah, good theory.
Like, I know the 100 monsters thing is the specific flex that we're talking about for Ursa, but there's a different scene in Fairy Tail that I've seen with Ursa that completely changed my entire perspective of Fairy Tail. So for that reason, I'm going to vote for her.
Which scene?
Oh, I'll get into it later if we have to argue.
Yeah, I'm voting for
Oh,
Ursa
man.
too.
I
No,
wanna
no,
save it.
please.
I
Save
want to
it.
save it.
All right, save it. Next,
Ursa.
next.
All right, next meme. Guts versus Demon Slayer.
All right.
So Guts, you're literally so both of these are very like abstract, not specific moments. But you have Guts flexing on Fate and Demon Slayer flexing on anime.
Yes, indeed.
It all lies within the rules of causality.
Yes, clearly.
Thanks, Books.
You're welcome.
So, Guts has a lot of individual flexes as well. Like, every time people see him, they're like, it's impossible that that sword can be wielded by a man. And then he just, like, I don't know, chops demons and horses in half with, like, one swing.
Mm-hmm.
Or the fact that's, like, his hand is a crossbow. He's like, yeah, but it's also a cannon.
Guts also flexes on every single anime character in existence for having the worst backstory of all time.
He does. Oh, man.
Oh, when I first like, I kind of forgot like his actual like the first like when he was born backstory thing,
Yeah.
and I was reading it on like Wikipedia, like what the fuck?
The man was born from a corpse.
Born from a corpse. And it was
Terrible
just
lie.
one.
Donovan, no.
It was just one terrible event after another, and then the eclipse. Like,
Yeah, but then he goes back to flexing hard on the world.
yeah, because he was branded to like I don't want to get too into spoilers to
He
die,
was branded to be a sacrifice,
Exactly.
fated to be a sacrifice for the God Hand.
and he's like,
and he
nah,
just-
fam.
You know, he goes, nah, fam.
Wow.
He
man.
pulls a no you on Fate.
Yeah, big
Well,
Uno reverse card right there.
He's also protecting another branded victim
Yeah.
over here. And when
Yeah.
two branded victims are together, that just makes everything worse. Fact.
The fact that this dude is like constantly under attack by throngs of demons, and he just ends up flexing on all of them and everyone around him, I think that that's very awesome.
I mean, Demon Slayer, though, is Ninja's favorite anime. So I think we need to keep that
Demon
in,
Slayer is Ninja's favorite anime.
gotta keep that in consideration here.
It's
Yeah,
actually
that is-
so good.
It is good. It's very good. I enjoy it a lot. But I was talking about how like there are a lot of anime that get like praised or whatever. Like even this year alone, Mob Psycho 2, Promised Neverland, Attack on Titan season 3 part 2. It's like we had so many anime that got really, really praised, and they were really good. I mean, even One Punch Man season 2 was like hype. But the only one that trended on Twitter worldwide was Demon Slayer.
Damn. 'Cause
The
of Ninja.
animation and music flexes on every other anime.
I feel like it's like so. It was like it's like very like basic in a way, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's so good," but like like came together as a community. You're like, we need this anime to get the recognition it deserves.
Pretty much.
Guts wins.
Guts wins. Yeah. Demon
Okay,
Slayer,
glad we're
nice
all-
try. I'm sorry in advance to Ninja, who will definitely be watching this video.
Yeah, Ninja. Sorry.
Yeah, maybe you could be in the next one. The spots kind of filled
if you
up.
want to come, Ninja, if you want to come to Rant Cafe, hit me up.
Well, I mean, he kind of wanted to be here, but then he has the exclusive thing with Mixer, and
Yeah.
we're on
Oh,
Twitch.
yeah, that's right.
We could get banned if he's.
We just couldn't make it
associated with us.
happen. He wanted a couple million, you know.
We were considering streaming this on Mixer with Ninja, but then we were like, nah, he's not worth it.
And we also realized like I know we're tech masters, but I don't know if I could do anything beyond Twitch at this point.
Yeah, it's Briggs's exclusivity with Twitch, you know.
Yeah, it's true. I don't want them to start using my page for porn. All right,
That would be very sad.
next round we have Bartolomeo versus Suchi.
I think I'm going for
Bartolomeo
Bartolomeo.
kissing is extremely cool. How dare you? I for sure go for Kuratsuchi. I know it's your guys' favorite manga,
Listen.
but come on.
Listen,
Come
okay?
on.
This man right here, Bartolomeo, he's just doing his thing in this arena. Everyone in the entire crowd is like, "You suck. Frick you." Middle fingers to this guy. Anybody who punches this guy in the face is getting a high five. And you know what he does? This man blocks a move that is supposed to be able to take down a Yonko.
Supposed to be being the key word.
Well,
Like,
yeah, but I mean,
he's
that's still something, right? Like a one punch to Kaido over here. One punch, and this man is just like, nah, sorry.
Yeah.
Look, man, I respect Bartolomeo. He's one of my favorite characters in One Piece, and he's the best Yonko.
Like,
But
I'll
that
definitely
said-
respect your opinion here, but I'm going for Bartolomeo.
That said, I don't think the flex was even in the same magnitude as Kuratsuchi's. His perfection speech as the guy is dying, only understanding what he's saying over the span of 100 years as he's slowly killing him.
I mean, it's pretty great,
Bruh.
but
And
Bartolomeo.
And of course, he stores the antidote to Nemu's diseases in his penis, so he has to have sex with her to bring her to life. Of course!
But of
It's the only
course,
logical thing to do.
but Bartolomeo is like in a ring with gladiators that are literally killing each other. Turns his back to them, stands on the end of the ring where if he gets pushed in, would fall into water, which obviously he has a devil fruit. He would can't swim. But on top of that, there's fucking human eating fish in there, and he just casually like pulls out his dick and start pissing. Everyone hates him so much, and he blocks. He literally took out opponents while taking a piss. Like I don't care. That's the biggest flex of all time. I'm sorry, Nux, but Bartolomeo is advancing to the next round.
What? How is this happening?
Nah, this is how I feel
That's
when
what the crowd
fucking
was thinking, too, when the man broke his hand.
when Digimon wins best isekai.
Well, it's okay. To be honest, I like pissing too, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I
I
mean,
would've been okay
this
with
is
either.
not on the same, it's not in the same league.
clearly Bartolomeo has watched
All right,
Gintama.
pissing wins. Rabbit and Gentle Rabbit. It seems like there's a new fetish for the Rank Cafe members.
Pissed in my pants. Okay, next
oh my
round.
god, that song was great.
It was so good, man.
All right.
My phone's ringing. All right,
Next,
who's
next.
next? We got Ursa versus Guts. Which one is the true? I guess not Black
All right,
Swordsman.
well,
True
like-
swordsman.
I definitely still want to vote for Guts, but I should at least give up my argument from earlier for Urza. So there was, I forget the name of the character, but there was a lady in Fairy Tail towards the beginning who had a sword that could literally cut through dimensions and therefore like destroy anything in its path. And you know what Urza does? She pulls out the power of friendship and destroys that sword when there's no logical way she should be able to. No possible way.
That's great.
She flexed on reality. Flexed on my interpretation of the series thus far. My brain went from on to off right then and there. And that's all thanks to her. So that's a pretty big flex.
He flexed on the viewers and flexed on you.
Yeah, she
flexed
flexed
on your
on me.
brain. So
All right.
I feel like,
So, like,
Guts is more of a badass.
Urza against her mom also had some epic flexes.
I
Yo.
don't think I've watched that fight. But Guts is more of a badass. He's cooler. I feel like
He's flexing on reality.
he's flexing on fate,
Well, okay,
his
not
destiny,
reality, sorry. His existence.
and all that. But like the 100 monsters thing, like, it just feels like a bigger flex to me. Like, it stands. Even
Like-
though I like Guts more and his moments more, like when it comes to flexing and the purpose of this bracket, the 100 monsters and then using fairy glitter, which is supposed to be so for like a very important time in a like pointless tournament. Actually, I don't
But
really know. I
Destiny.
haven't watched all of it. So, was
Like-
there a deeper meaning to this tournament, or was it literally just the flex on everyone?
It was to flex on everyone.
Oh my
I mean,
god.
but
That
like
was
with
the deeper
Destiny,
meaning.
Destiny is supposed to be like, no matter what, if you're destined to do something, you're gonna end up doing it no matter what path you take, right? And basically, Guts' destiny is to die as a sacrifice for these demons. Yet he's still here, being like, nah, fam, I'm gonna be the fish struggling out the pond here, making little ripples in the way. He's going
He's
against
not.
fate.
He's not even doing it to flex. He's just doing it to survive.
He's flexing on like his very like
Existence.
I
I
don't know
know.
how to
I
explain
know. I know.
yeah. Guts knows what he's doing.
Okay, Nux, who are you voting for?
I'm dying here.
Yeah, this is a hard round.
like it's really tough because
Like, I want to vote for Guts, but I feel like I'm almost leaning towards Fairy Tale.
Can you imagine us self-proclaimed anime YouTubers voting for Fairy Tale over Berserk?
Well, that's the beauty
I
of
don't
the
think I can
Flex
bring
tournament.
myself to do
The Flex tournaments. You could end up with Bartolomeo versus Ursa and Kuretsuchi and Guts took an L. Like, it's possible.
I'll have to slap myself if I vote for Urza over Guts. I really will. But I'm struggling.
Well, there are
Guts,
some more
Guts
great
did the
original-
100 people thing, but I think the 100
If you're-
monster thing was better.
If you're curious to hear,
But not even better. Just like a better flex. Go ahead.
I mean, when she was fighting her mother, and her mother is like a dragon woman from like 700 years ago. Don't ask questions. I think it's 400 years ago, and she basically says like, I'm your mother, and I still like abandoned you at birth because you're worthless to me, and I'm gonna kill you. I don't know, one of those lines. And Urza's like, well, mother, I must thank you for abandoning me because then I was able to really find my family. And then she proceeded to annihilate her.
Oh.
That was really amazing.
With
one hand-
forget.
She jumps up, she shatters a meteor that's coming down, and with that force, she flies back down and slashes Dragon Women.
Are we gonna forget that Guts literally fought and defeated 100 men?
But that's
That
not
are-
a flex.
But that's what
But-
I'm saying. Like, so like the
wait.
100 men thing was super cool, but then the 100 monsters thing was still a bigger flex. Even if what he
Okay, I
did
guess
seemed
that's
more
true.
real, like seemed more like tangible and yeah, it was way cooler. Honestly, I fucking like I love the Guts versus the 100 men thing. But like when it comes to fucking flexing, there was no reason she needed to fight all 100 monsters, but she did it to flex on everyone. Like,
Wait, are we gonna forget about the first page of Berserk where Guts flexed on a demon by having sweet sensual lovemaking with it when he could have just destroyed it right then and there?
I do not recall.
Are we gonna
that.
forget about that?
What are you talking about?
The very first page of Berserk, Guts is porking a demon. One of the demons from the eclipse. He's
Oh.
getting revenge with his penis, and then he kills it when it transforms.
That
into-
is a massive flex.
Yeah, I think I may have skipped the first chapter.
Oof,
'Cause-
that's a big flex. I mean, the other. Hey, if you've seen the Phantom Lord arc, did you see Urza block the cannon?
I
Spooky?
don't know yet.
All
I
right,
mean,
so-
I might have. It's been like I watched most of this arc a couple months ago, and I'm just getting back to like the ending right now.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Oh, there's a lot of great Urza flexes. The Grand Magic Games is so good, but I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna go for Guts because flexing on Destiny is just way cooler.
And
At
although Guts is a cooler, more badass character in my opinion, and I like him more when it comes to flexing, I'm voting for Ursa.
Oh man!
2Spooky, it's all on you, bro.
Tell when I did.
I'm going for Guts. I'm sorry, Brent.
All right, that's cool. I'm cool with
You
that.
and I
Guts
are
is
switching
awesome.
places from last bracket.
So
I
what's
was going against
next?
the grain each
Is this
time.
already the finals? I think it is.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
got
finals.
Guts versus Bartolomeo. Bartolomeo pissing at the
All right.
Gladiator tournament
Two different arts of the penis at work here.
or the Coliseum. As much as I want to vote for Bartolomeo, I feel like I gotta.
I don't think we can justify him in this final round.
No.
Nah, I'm gonna go for Guts.
Yeah.
Although I do respect the piss.
I do too.
I changed my mind. I'm voting for Bartolomeo.
Defeating an opponent mid-piss is epic.
That's a fucking huge flex, man. Okay, I gotta vote for Guts. Flexing on fate.
I agree.
All right, I think we have a winner here, boys. Guts wins. This was a great bracket.
Oh, a lot of fun.
I just loved. Isn't there one scene where he stuffs his crossbow arm into Demon's mouth, and then it's a like a machine gun crossbow arm, and he just like fires out all of his crossbows and then just blows it up.
Yep.
I don't know. He's amazing. Another flex that I mentioned in my actual flex video with Guts is when he's fighting Serpicio on the steep cliff, and he can't really swing his sword because it's like so narrow. And Serpicio stabs at him, and he lets it go through his cheek and bites the sword and twists.
Also,
that's amazing.
There's also the time they fought in like I forget where they were at, but they were in like some room where there was a bunch of pillars. So because
he just takes down the pillars.
He just cuts right through the freaking pillar.
And it's great because every time he fights Serpicio, he's like so excited to get him into a situation where he has the advantage.
It's just like nope.
No.
You know what's a huge flex? When you freaking cut not only the horse but the person in half as well.
Cutting both heads off simultaneously
Yeah.
is amazing. Or the fact that he rode Zod, that was amazing as well.
I don't even remember
like,
that.
Most bizarre arc.
Yeah, that was wacky.
Wait, was that after the freaking boat arc?
It's before.
It's right before it, yeah.
It's been too many years. I gotta reread. The problem is I'm like, okay, should I continue reading from where I left off? Can I have a general idea, or should I just reread it all? And I think I have to reread it all because it's been way too long.
If you don't remember the first panel, you definitely need to reread.
Well, I watched the '97 anime and then continued from the after the eclipse, so I would have.
Oh, you missed like the whole like prologue or whatever.
So I would have skipped the entire prologue, yeah.
Okay.
But isn't the prologue like kind of?
I mean, it introduces you to like the God Hand,
but it
including
spoils
Griffith,
what's gonna
like,
happen
as
later
Bento.
on, right? So I'm kind of glad that I didn't see it first.
Right. So
It
the
was
thing is, if I were to recommend Berserk, like for the first time read, I would skip the prologue.
Really?
But if someone is going for the reread, I would recommend reading the prologue.
I liked the prologue because it kind of introduced because the whole time you're kind of thinking
I only read Berserk after I watched it, so I knew the big twist. But if you don't know the big twist, then definitely I would advise skipping the prologue.
I wasn't spoiled, so like I was lucky in that front. But in the prologue, because Guts is so pissed at Griffith, like as the God Hand, you're kind of sitting there like, okay, like Guts is obviously really mad at this guy, but what did he do? And then the whole time you're sitting there like, Griffith is actually kind of a likable guy. I mean, he's kind of a scumbag sometimes, but like, he's not that bad of a dude. And then, whoa, then it hits you, and wow, then you realize why he's actually so pissed. I thought it was a good dynamic.
Don't know. In any case, Guts wins, flexing on both fate and this bracket.
Woo!
He even managed to defeat the pissing Bartolomeo.
Which is a hard task to do.
Yes.
Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. 'Twas fun.
Always
fun
pleasure.
indeed.
Check out Nux's Flex series. You're on to number 7 now, right? Or 8? 7?
Yes, 7.
Nice.
Well, I recorded 7. It is currently in the editing process.
But it hasn't been uploaded yet. Cool.
You
And
guys better
then
slap that like button for number 8.
hell yeah. Once we
But
do
I'll
all
be completely honest with you.
we're doing a
I
season
definitely
finale.
think that my Flexes 7 video will be out before this one.
Dun, dun.
8, yeah, most likely.
Well, then you guys better like it.
Considering how long it takes me to get them out. Check out 2Spooky. He makes fantastic high quality content. Both their links are down below. And I guess I'll see you Flexers next time. Shinpaku.
With a spoon.
With a spoon! Now, before I end the video, I want to give a huge, gigantic thank you to all my current patrons and members. You guys take me one step closer of turning this dream of doing YouTube full-time into a reality. When I graduate university in December, I'm going to try to go full-time, so your support is super appreciated. A huge thank you to A17 FFDP, Beck, Elf Queen Mab, Ginkgo Taku, I Cry During Sex, Johnny Boy Draws, Kana, Mick Manga, Nace Mazer, Nothing But a Fan, Rusty Lee, Sebastian, Siren, Starry Nick, Steelers, The Anime Dude, the Magikarp guy, Thought Destroyer, and Viva the Loser. Thank you so much, guys. And my 3 members, Kaido might be a dragon, the Mexican dude, and 2Spooky. Thank you so much, guys.